We are in Paarl in the Cape Winelands, where something very unique is taking place today. Now, normally, if we are in this area, we speak about wine. But today, we are talking about arm wrestling. In fact, it's the National South African Armwrestling Championships. And we're going to get straight into it because I am a novice at this. We have Sean Christie with us, who's the event organizer. Thank you for speaking to us, Sean. Sean, how big is arm wrestling in South Africa?
It's bigger than people think, and it's growing at a rate that I think would surprise a lot of people, especially after the COVID-19 lockdown, where people got a bit hooked watching YouTube. As soon as it opened up, people, especially youngsters, went looking for their nearest arm wrestling club, and we've got a record number of contestants here today, about 120, so it's in good shape.
How long has the sport been around as an official sport in the country?
It's been formally organized since 2002, so it's got a good 2 decades of formal organization, but it goes back quite a long way before that. In fact, not many people know, but in the 80s there was a Stallone movie called Over the Top, and it was about arm wrestling. And there was also a professional arm wrestling competition at which that movie was shot. And they came here to South Africa and they hunted a few of our buffels and they went and competed in Las Vegas. So, you know, competitions go back to that time.
And what does it mean to become a champion here? Will they be represented on a national or representing South Africa on a national level there?
So winning here at the Nationals means you can compete at the World Arm Wrestling Federation international event. It's the biggest platform for arm wrestling. There's non-professional. So yeah, if you win here today, you could see yourself on that international platform.
Absolutely. And how many categories are there?
It starts at 70 kilos, and this is for males, females, and it goes up to 110. So if you're over 110, good luck. You know, there can be guys who are 200 kilos, and you must deal with that. But in between, it's a sort of 10 kilogram segments.
Sure. And you were speaking about a buffel. What is a buffel in terms of arm wrestling?
Well, I think this, you know, the sport has got a much more diverse appeal in recent times, but it comes out of an Afrikaner culture. And, you know, the Afrikaner is from the Dutch descended and genetically large, big-boned, and so, you know, we've got some guys here who are amongst the strongest people in our nation, I would say.
And you would think there's this conception out there that when there's arm wrestling, it's two guys in a bar and it's going well, and now they're going to test their strengths. It's a formal sport. It's more than that, not so?
Yes, yeah. I think the tavern image of arm wrestling is something that we really strive to move away from. It's highly technical.
Yes.
You know, it's safe. I mean, it is a physical sport. Some would call it a martial art. So there is a risk, obviously, but the refs are trained to mitigate that risk. So there's a lot to it. You can find, with the right technique, somebody much lighter, you know, visibly much weaker than an opponent can win the day just on technique.
Now, what we're going to ask you to do now is to help us to see what a match would look like. If you would kindly demonstrate, you've chosen 2 of your wrestlers, and will you please talk us through what a match would look like?
Okay, great, thanks. I've chosen 2 of the Cape's finest. This is Noel and McCleary, both kind of category champs and noted for technique and speed. But if you can follow me around here, you know, you'll bring them together. They'll shake hands. It's a very polite sport, although it can get aggro, but it's friendly and familial. They'll place their elbows. They'll set their hands. Now you can do a lot in the hand setup. You know, if you've got your wrist a little bit in, you have an advantage already.
Okay.
You know, if you've got your knuckles, if you've covered your opponent's knuckle, and he's not a very sort of proficient arm wrestler, he's at a big disadvantage.
Okay.
So the ref is there to prevent crooking on the table.
Crooking is cheating, by the way.
Yes, yeah. So, you get them centered, you make sure the knuckles are where they should be, and then it's either hands on, and it's a very quick ready go.
Yes.
And then they go for it.
Okay.
So I can set them off if you'd like to see,
let's see
how
let's
it
see
goes. But let's see. So I think these guys try for your hand positions. You happy with your knuckles? I need you to straighten, please. Come a bit more central. Okay. Ready, go.
Wow.
There you have it. McCleary is very noted for his speed. So.
And is that a thing? Is it? I always thought you lock and then you could just move like this, but I see he uses his whole body.
Well, speed is one of the techniques.
Yes.
So especially if you might not be able to pull your opponent over based on strength. If you can hit so quickly that the synapses haven't yet reached the brain of your opponent, you can find you've beaten a much bigger opponent. A specialty of McCleary's, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for your demonstration. If before you go, may I just quickly ask, you can unlock. You can be friends now again. Don't go away, please. Why do you enjoy arm wrestling?
I love arm wrestling. The community, the people, the sport itself. I've done many sports in my life, and I started arm wrestling about 6 years ago, and it's become my life. I've opened a club. It's just the community. You won't get any other community like it. The people are so friendly, and the competitions are super competitive. And then, me and him could be enemies on the table. After that, we're best friends. Everyone helps each other. Everyone teaches each other. So for anyone out there who wants to try arm wrestling, please try it. Go out, find a club, and do it, because I promise you will enjoy it.
Give us your name so we know who to look for in the future.
I'm Noel Lancaster, yeah.
Noel Lancaster, thank you very much. And you, young man, what is it about you? You look like a viper out there. How do you develop techniques like that?
Just practice. It's the main thing. Just practice, watch YouTube videos, learn from guys like Noel.
Yeah. And what kind of strength exercises do you do not to get hurt? Because you can get hurt in this.
Mainly calisthenics.
Yeah.
I recommend if you do good calisthenics, then you'll be fine.
What is that?
Calisthenics, body weight exercises.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain to us, how would that work?
It's basically working out but without any weights.
Yeah.
So if, for example, push up, pull up, dip, any of that stuff.
And how did you develop your technique? Is it because he says it's your specialty?
I learned it from him. I never knew how to
really?
arm wrestle, yeah.
Okay.
He's the one who taught me everything.
Okay, and for someone who sees this for the first time and thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure, what would you tell them to encourage them to maybe join a club?
It's not going to take long to learn the skill. It's not that difficult.
Sure.
If you just practice enough, you get it.
Just again, tell us your name, please.
McCleary.
Your surname?
Tsapazi.
Tsapasa. Thank you very much. There you saw it. Two youngsters. He was speaking about a buffle earlier, which means he's a big, burly, strong guy. We saw guys in here with biceps the size of tree trunks. And here's these two lean men with lean muscle, and you saw they've got wonderful technique, as Sean Christie explained to us. We're going to leave it at that and go watch more of this arm wrestling as the professionals go at it. As I said, it's the championships, which draw to a close today here in Paarl, and we've certainly learned something, and we hope you did too.